top of the ticket here in Arizona, with over 30% of the vote being Hispanic vote. I have no doubt that this may be the race of my life. The Hispanic community is aroused and angry in a way that I have never seen in 30 years. And so this is going to be a tough campaign for me.
What you just heard was John McCain behind closed doors at an Arizona fundraiser last month, bemoaning the rise of Donald Trump atop the GOP ticket. Politico got its hands on that recording, wrote an article to accompany it, and it became the top trending story earlier today at Politico.com. All of that prompted Senator McCain to step in front of the cameras and attempt some damage control.
Why do you feel the need to support Trump as nominee, given all the nasty?
Because I'm a proud Republican. I am a Ronald Reagan, Teddy Roosevelt Republican, and I support the Republican Party. And the people, the Republicans, have chosen the nominee for the party. I think that makes sense.
Would you expect Trump to even endorse your campaign, or would you accept this as
I do not know what Mr. Trump's thinking is, except that it's going to be huge.
That nervous laughter coming from the McCainiacs surrounding John right there comes from what is really huge, the gap between the promises of McCain in his 2010 campaign and his actual performance in office once safely reelected. 6 years ago, he talked about completing the dang fence along the border. But once back in the Senate, he became the lead sponsor of amnesty. Had John been a bit more Trump-like in the Senate, he wouldn't face the problems he does back home in Arizona. Again, his wounds are self-inflicted. They have nothing to do with Donald Trump. Meantime, the two former presidents Bush say they will have nothing to do with Trump. Bush's 41 and 43 have declined to endorse the Donald since he stopped the efforts of Jeb to become Bush 45. George Herbert Walker Bush has had his share of health challenges, and as he prepares to celebrate his 92nd birthday next month, we can understand his retirement from public life. It is a different story, though, for W. Especially since so many of us in Congress during his time in the White House expended a great deal of political capital to defend him and his presidency. In fact, we joked back in 2004 that we had formed the Bloody Tongue Caucus because we had to bite our tongues every time he talked about comprehensive immigration reform, his poll-tested term for amnesty. Then he flat out refused to get behind my Enforcement First bill to actually secure our borders. So W, since you're so intent on keeping open borders and since you continue to push for amnesty, in honor of Cinco de Mayo, let me say it en Espanol. Adios. And that's the way I see it. We'll get to the way you see it in just a minute. First, I want you to see a new way to offer your 2 cents on the hot-button topics of the day. Take a look at this. Newsmax Prime wants your voice to be heard. Now we're offering you the chance to send in a video to sound off. Simply go to newsmaxusa.com and follow the on-screen instructions from your computer or mobile device. Sound off with Newsmax Prime. Check it out, and that's at newsmaxusa.com. Can't wait to start sharing your videos. Now it's time for the way you see it, your comments via social media. We hear first from Diane, who sent us a tweet on John Kasich dropping out and the rumors he may be vetted to become Donald Trump's running mate. Diane writes, John Kasich should be Hillary Clinton's VP. They agree on just about everything. A somewhat irreverent comment from Diane. Next, we hear from G-Man, also writing in about Kasich and others who could be Donald Trump's running mate. He writes, John Kasich at VP is a real problem for the same reason that Marco Rubio is. They're both pro-amnesty. Newt Gingrich, or perhaps Senators John Thune, Tom Cotton, or maybe Congressman Duncan Hunter. All good political options. That will do it for comments, and we need to let you know the way you can get in touch with me. Of course, we use the telephone. We've used it all night, but also on the internet. You can go to newsmaxtv.com/comments, or if you choose to use Twitter, go to twitter.com. Our handle is at Newsmax Prime. And of course, those aforementioned phone numbers, you ought to save these. Really, they're one and the same. 877-NEWSMAX, 877-639-7629. That'll do it for tonight. Stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.